Students, welcome you all on the behalf of Rahul Anand Biology Tutorials. So as you know that I am Rahul Anand and this is somewhat around my channel whose name is actually the Rahul Anand Biology Tutorials. So now let's begin with the very interesting topics which are oftenly being asked in terms of your NEET, often the Aims, often the All India Pre-Medical Examination. So these are literally belonging from which of the chapters of your book. So these are belonging from here, meaning in terms of what? Meaning in terms of the diversity in living world. Of course, as well as when we are talking about these cases, so you have to understand the certain more aspect as well as the terms. So these are actually what? So these are the science. So when we are talking about these cases as well as what are actually the science as well as the biology. So biology is what? So biology is the most important form of what? So biology is the most important form as well as the part of what? The science. As well as when we are talking about these cases, so what are actually the science? So science is what? Tell me. So science is the organized and the systematic study of what? So science is the organized as well as the systematic study of the here main in terms of the experimental as well as the observation form. So this will be coming under what case? So this will be literally coming under nothing else but the case of the science. As well as when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the science as well as it is being further divided in terms of the three broad categories. So these are actually what? So these are the physical science, then the chemical science, as well as here main term of the life form science. So these will be coming under what case? So when we are talking about these case, means the particular science or either the branch of science which is literally dealing with reference to the chemical equation or either the here main term the vital course of the reaction. So these will be coming under what cases? So these will be literally coming under nothing else but the case of the chemistry. After that we are having what? So after that we are having the here main term of the physical science. So when we are talking about the case of the physical science, by the name it is very clear that something, so or either the some kind of the demonstration which will be literally present with reference to what? With reference to the case of the here main of the physical issues or either the physics. So it will be coming under what branch? So it will be coming under the here main of the physics cases. After that in the last we are having the here main of the life science. So the branch of science in which we will be understanding as well as dealing with reference to the different types of the life forms. So it will be coming under what cases? So it will be coming under nothing else but your here main term of the biology cases. After that, when we are talking about these cases, main term of what are actually the here main term of the biodiversity in term of the living world chapter. So we are going to study with reference to the certain of the important factors as well as the part in it, such as what? Such as we are here having in term of the biodiversity. Okay. So when we are talking about the here what are actually the biodiversity? Biodiversity is what? So biodiversity is the here main term of the variation in term of what? So biodiversity is the variation with reference in term of the shape, then the structure as well as the color, often with reference to what? Often with reference to the weight, often the length as well as the height, as well as you could understand that the particular differences or either the variations which are literally being present with reference to what? With reference on the characteristics of the morphological characteristics as well as the anatomical characteristics. Coming under what case? So it will be coming under nothing else but your biodiversity cases. Now after that, when we are talking about these cases, means the word biodiversity are literally coming under from what of the points or either the term. Of course, so your biodiversity are literally being coincide with reference to what? With reference to the here main of the biological diversity. Often when we are coming under these cases, so we are having the different types of the part in it, such as what? Such as you are having the different names of the scientists, such as what? Such as the Walter D. Rosen. Okay, so Walter G. Rosen played an important role for what? Played an important role for determining the term which is known as here main term of the biodiversity, as well as these are popularly being done with reference to what of the here main term of the year. So it was actually nothing else but the 1986. After that we are often having the different types of the part in it, such as we are having the different types as well as the characteristics as well as the properties of the biodiversity. So when we are talking about what are actually the parts as well as the types and the properties of biodiversity, so your here main term of the here main term of the biodiversity playing important role to maintain what? So it is playing important role to maintain the here main term of the ecological balance. Of course, so when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the ecological balance or either the ecology. So you have to understand the particular term, means what are actually the ecology. Remember, so ecology is the branch of science in which we will be dealing about what? So ecology is the branch of science in which we will be dealing about the different types of the interactions which are literally being present with reference to what? With reference on the organism as well as here main term the coordinates with reference to the environment. So you could say that the branch of science in which we will be understanding about the deep interaction as well as the relationship with reference to the organism and what? And its environment. So it will be coming under what cases? So it will be literally coming under the case of the here main term of the ecology. After that, we are having the different types of the names of the scientists, such as what? Such as we are having the Theophatus. So the particular Theophatus played an important role for what? So he played an important role to term the main term the biodiversity term, as well as in these cases of the ecology. So he played an important role. Means what? Your Theophatus to term the particular main term the definition, such as means what are actually the main term the ecology. After that, you are often having the Professor R. Mishra. So he often contributed the influential role as well as played an important role to found the significance as well as the defined detailing in it. With reference to what? With reference in term of the, tell me, the ecology. In term of what? In term of what of the particularly person name, as well as he was actually belonging from which of the region. So he was particularly from the India. Nothing to make you explain about that in term of the mode. After that, when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the different codes as well as the when the different types of the life forms which are literally being existing with reference to what? With reference on the Milky Way galaxy, which are often popularly known as what? Which are often popularly known as the Earth, of course. So we are having around 1.72 there. So we are having around 1.7 to 1.8 million of the different types of the species which are literally being present with reference on the surface of the Earth. Rather, you could say that in terms of the Milky Way galaxy. After that, when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the species. Remember? So when we are talking about these cases, remember? So when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the species. So the species are often known as what? So the species are often known as the smallest taxon. Remember what are actually the taxons, such as when these particularly species combine, it will result in the formation of the different courses. And finally, we understand that on the larger portion we are having what? So on the larger portion we are having the kingdom. And the kingdom is often being divided in terms of the two broad categories. So these are the plant kingdom, then the animal kingdom. So directly proportional. Plant kingdom will be from in terms of the branch of science, which is often in terms of the detailing study coming under the case of the botany. After that, we will be having what? After that, the branch of science, which will be dealing with reference to the study of the animals, coming under what case? So it will be coming under nothing else but your main term of the zoology cases. After that, when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the different branch of sciences, as well as just like we have understood, means what are actually the different types of the life forms which are literally being existed with reference to what? With reference to the Earth. So it was what? So it was around 1.7 to 1.8 million of the different species which are literally being present with reference on your main term of the Milky Way galaxy or rather the Earth. Now, so it is oftenly being further divided, or you could say that the number of the species are literally being divided in terms of what? In terms of the broad categories, such as what? Such as main term we are having the 3,92,700 of the species. Okay, so 3,92,000 with reference to the 700 species are literally being coming under what case? So it will be coming under nothing else but your main term of the plant cases, rather the number of the species of the plants, as well as when we are talking about the main term of the what are actually the main term of the animals. So you could often popularly find here on the board here. Where is it? So here. So it is around how much? So it is around nothing else but your main term of the 12,17,000 made of the 645 species are literally being coming under what cases? So it will be coming under nothing else but your main term of the animal species cases. As well as when we are talking about these cases, remember, means what are actually the, tell me, the number of the species of the animal kingdom or rather the animals will be literally coming under from what cases? So it will be coming under nothing else but these cases only. As well as when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the main term of the biodiversity, as well as main term of the population balance in terms of what? Such as when we are talking about these cases, so the main term of the species balance playing an important role for the balance of what? So when we are talking about the main term of the species population balance, often playing an important role in order for the balance of what? So it will be playing an important role in order to balance the in terms of the population with reference to the biodiversity. Remember, means what are actually the species? We are very clear about that. Means what are actually the species? So it is regarded as the lowest taxon. After that, we are often having the certain more of the vital parts, such as we are in the largest taxon, coming under what case? So it will be coming under nothing else but your main term of the kingdom, broadly being divided in terms of the two parts. So these are the plant kingdom, then the animal kingdom. As well as when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the different forms of the life which are literally being existed with reference to the Milky Way galaxy or rather the Earth. So it was around how much? So it was around main term of the 1.7 to 1.8 million of the species which are literally being present with reference to the main term of the Milky Way galaxy, or either you could say that Earth. So these are often being further divided in terms of the three broad categories. So these are what? So these are the smaller organism than the larger organism, as well as the largest organism. So fine. So when we are talking about the case of the smaller organism, so the organism, tell me. So the organism which are quite bit microscopic in nature, or either unicellular in nature, or either its life supporting mechanism as well as the body organization will be quite bit simpler. So it will be coming under what case? So it will be coming under the smaller organism. Okay, fine. So when we are talking about these cases, so we are having the viruses. So you are very clear about that, means what are actually the virus. Remember, so the branch of science in which you will be understanding as well as studying about the case of the virus coming under what case? So it will be coming under the virology. After that, we are often having the different types of the logy, such as we are having the cytology, directly proportional for the study of the cell, coming under what case? So it will be coming under the cytology. Then we are having the histology, means what? The branch of science which will be dealing with reference to the different vital codes on the level of the tissue, coming under what case? So it will be coming under the histology. Likewise, we are having the morphology. Then what? Physiology, etc. So we'll be understanding about that later. So you are very clear about that, means what are actually the here main of the viruses. Remember, so these are coming under the smallest organism case, of course, as well as these are often non-living nature. So we could not particularly promote that, as well as tell, means virus are literally being living or either non-living. Why? Because when we are studying about the biology, so biology is the case of the exception science. Okay. So when we are talking about these cases in terms of the viruses, so we are having what? So we are having the Joanno-Weissi. So Joanno-Weissi was whom? So he played an important role to found what? To found the here. When in terms of the viruses, in terms of the tobacco-mosaic disease. Remember? So these are the particular disease in terms of what? In terms which are literally being present with the reference on the surface of the leaves. Of course, when we are talking about the leaves, so this will be the portion of what? Of your tree or either the plants. As well as we are often having the different types of the branch, as well as the understanding concept, as well as the viruses which are literally